Welcome to episode 16 of Looking Good in Lockdown and the long-awaited men's haircut demo. Now, Andy has been growing his hair out since episode 2, and as you can see, we don't have a tremendous amount of hair to work with. And since bringing someone else into the house during quarantine is strictly forbidden and shouldn't be done, we've decided to use someone from our house to help us model the haircut. Everyone meet Scout. Scout has graciously volunteered to be involved in our haircut demo, and with some help from your imagination, we hope to walk you through the techniques for a successful men's haircut. Let's get started. Start with wetting the hair. If your subject has really long, thick hair, they might want to start with their head under the sink, get it nice and wet, and then you can use the spray bottle to kind of maintain. You're going to come around the crown of the head, separating this portion and combing it up. So if the hair was long, you're going to take this entire section all the way around, and you're going to comb it up to get it out of your way, because we're going to focus around the sides of the head and the back of the head to start. First thing we're going to do is take all of the hair from the section that you separated out, combing it straight down. Now if the hair is really long and thick, you want to use your comb along the neck and pull up on the hair to see where the natural line of growth stops. You don't want to cut above that line. Combing down, you're going to come with your scissors straight across, and then coming up slightly at an angle toward the ear. And you can see where Andy's hair naturally grows this way. That's going to be our outline for the base of the haircut. Once you have that established as your baseline, we're going to come down, starting in the center, doing vertical sections and cutting the hair. So when you're doing the vertical sectioning around the head, you're gonna take the parting like I kind of showed you on Andy, pulling the hair up in between your fingers, laying your hand flat against the head, and you're going to cut straight down, pulling back like we learned in the bang trim video. You also want to make sure, for safety purposes, that you're never cutting past these knuckles, because the meat of the hand here tends to stick out farther than you anticipate, and you can clip it with the end of the scissors. So just recomb, moving down, and you're going to use that first cut as your baseline, and you're going to continue cutting down toward the neckline that we established initially. Once that section is complete down to the neck, you're going to, using your comb, move slightly over to the right, picking up hair from the section next to it, and continuing on using the original cut as your guideline so that you're keeping pretty even. Then, when you're done, you're gonna comb all the way down toward that neckline, and I'll show you back on Andy how you can even out any of your mistakes. Now, once we've gone all the way around in those vertical sections, you're gonna comb the hair back down, and then using the short end, the small end of your comb, you're gonna come up the side of the head, and as the hair sticks out and is uneven, you're gonna cut that off, using your comb as your guide. Now, if the hair is not as short as Andy's hair, then you wanna keep it out at the level that you want. You'll be able to see, as the hair is uneven, which areas you need to cut off and which ones you can leave, because it'll be jagged, so you just cut off the jagged areas and recomb it down. It should give you a pretty even, for the most part, depending on your skill level, a pretty even outcome. Now, once you've gone all the way around the head in the vertical sections, you're gonna come in by the sideburns over here. Just turn your head this way for me, perfect. I like to comb them back toward the ear so you can see where the hair kind of comes this way, and you're gonna cut up and around. Now, ears are much more pliable than you think, so you can just push these puppies down to come around to keep your client safe. You can also use the comb to push the hair and the ear down and come behind it, whatever you're more comfortable with, to keep them safe. You can also keep the scissors away from the ears altogether and use your trimmer, if you have one, to kind of come up and around. And you use your comb the same way we did to cross-check in the back, to bring these sideburns up and to cut off any of the initial hair that's sticking out. Now at this point, we've finished this whole section all the way around. For most clients, there's a lot of hair up here that still hasn't been touched, that's grown out pretty far in that original section that we removed. So at this point, you're gonna kind of pull it down and comb it down over the part that's already cut. So it's going to look pretty disconnected, and our job is to connect it. So you're gonna come from the side in those same sections that you had, but we're gonna go around the head. So you would cut this hair off to match the top of the side here, and you're gonna go around the head, cutting the hair. And if you want the hair longer, you're gonna go in an angle that matches the shape of the head. So you'll start here, you'll cut it to match the side, and then you'll come up a little bit higher, and you'll go around the head in this direction, connecting it on these sides. Then the way to cross-check that, and this is a lot, but the way to cross-check it once that is complete is I like to part the hair down the middle, even if it is overlapping just a tiny bit, if their hair is short, part it down the middle and do that same cross-check where we're pulling up with the comb, but you're going to go straight up to the sky, and anything that's hanging over, you're gonna cut that off. And that'll help give that nice blend, because a lot of men tend to complain that their hair is either puffy in this region or grows out fastest in this region, and it's probably because it wasn't blended properly the first time, and that's kind of the trick to doing it. If they have a long frontal area of the hair, you can brush that forward and trim along to kind of even that out. So once you finish the haircut, the final touches is the trimmer. So you're gonna come in where that natural hair was growing. If they like a clean line, you're gonna come right around and up to the natural growth. You wanna follow where the hair is growing, and you're gonna come straight down the neck. You can use your comb to touch up areas where the hair is growing up by coming opposite direction with your comb. With the trimmer, and the same with around the ears. Now Andy's hair doesn't grow too crazy around his ears, but some people, their hair grows slightly lower, so you just use the edge of the trimmer to come in and around to clean that up. Those are the basic steps to a men's haircut. Hopefully, using your imagination, you can piece all of that together and get an outcome that's sufficient for your client. We'll see you tomorrow on Looking Good in Lockdown.